Nick.
Hello.
Greg.
Hello.
All right, that was excessively fruity. Thank you.
That was very fruity. That was
That's what I'm
fruity
here
pebbles.
for. That is what I'm
Bonnie!
Bonnie, my pebbles!
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Under the Bridge.
A week, whatever.
Hello.
I
Yeah.
lost count at this point.
Yeah, who cares? It only matters once we hit, something huge.
50.
I think
But
we're
what
at
we do-
episode 8. Maybe episode 8.
Yeah, who knows? This is the Nick Cage. This is the Nick Cage episode.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Welcome to Nicolas Cage Week, everybody.
Not the bees! Not the bees!
We'll
Oh
get
my
to it, though.
Mhm.
Okay.
In the meantime, let's start with a bit of news that is a week old, and it's the kind of news that I'm already sick of having to bring up, but it just keeps on giving. Ezra Miller's been arrested again.
Oh, boy. What did he
Oh,
do this time?
wow.
What did they
What a
do
shock
this
to
time?
nobody.
I'm sure they've probably been released by this point, but
Oh,
they
boy.
were arrested on account of second-degree assault for throwing a chair at somebody.
Alright, so he's been watching a lot of retro WWE then, is what I take from that. That was a bad joke.
And Ezra comes in with a chair! Oh, that's a body...
And the Flash comes in with the lightning chair! Sorry.
But wait, who's that? It's Warner Brothers! It's Warner Brothers, everybody! Oh, they're coming to give him that! Oh!
It's the Sith Force! Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Oh,
This is probably not a kosher thing to be joking about.
No, but it is funny. And,
Fair.
especially because I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers is either still having or just wrapped up their CinemaCon presentation at the time that we're recording this.
Oh, boy.
So,
I guess next week we'll see if there's any updates on who's playing the Flash after this, because if it's still Miller...
as I say, I imagine Ezra's agent was like, alright, Ezra, they finished, all the lawyers are good, so we're in the clear now, literally 5 hours later. He's like, God damn it, Barry.
no! Hypothetically, say they recast Ezra Miller. Who is your guys' take for a good Flash?
I can't really narrow anyone down to that, in all honesty. Just because I'm not, outside of, movies and, old Saturday morning cartoons, I'm not super familiar with The Flash.
Jim
overall.
Parsons.
Tim Parsons.
You know what? For lack of a Barry to think of, and if Warner Brothers really wants to lean into this whole multiverse, we don't need to make anything match up crap, Chris Pine as Jay Garrick.
Ooh, that would be actually awesome to have a Jay Garrick movie.
And I know he's Steve Trevor already, but shut up.
Who cares?
I know this wouldn't necessarily be super kosher since he's involved deeply in Marvel. What?
I just thought Clint Eastwood for Jay Garrick.
Oh no.
Go
on, Greg.
I know this isn't super okay since he already does things for Marvel, but
Who cares?
I could honestly see Charlie Cox being Flash.
I really
Yes.
couldn't. I couldn't.
Also-
I don't see it.
Who cares about DC and Marvel? Not only do actors cross over all the time, but I literally just suggested Wonder Woman's boyfriend should play Jay Garrick. Forget
That's
Marvel
fair.
DC cross. I just did DC cross.
Let's just axe the Flash movie and just get a Justice Society of America movie.
Oh, they're making that, but they're calling it Black Adam for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
God.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, no. So, I guess we'll find out what's going on with the Flash later. I guess we'll find out what's going on with most of DC later.
Yeah.
Next bit of news. We now have a title for the 10th Fast and Furious movie, which has begun production.
Sorry.
They have continued their dedication to not having a consistent naming scheme, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting Fast X.
Fast X.
Or
hate
maybe it's
this.
Fast 10?
It's supposed to be fast. I hate this so much. I'm the resident car guy, and I hate this so much. This series should have died with Paul Walker. I know that's not a good way of wording that, but I do not care.
Fair enough.
I mean, yes, it's Fast 10, Fast X, whatever. Honestly, if somebody doesn't make for the marketing, if they don't come up with Fast X your seatbelts, I will be disappointed, because it's one of those things where it's like, it's right there. It's like, it's 3 feet in front of you. But I would also hope that hopefully someone there is smarter than to go with that easy grab.
What are they even doing now?
Easy.
Like what? Like they've already gone to the moon. Like what are they doing now?
They didn't go to the moon.
Remind me of
they
that.
went into orbit.
I don't know.
They could very well go to the moon.
I mean, they launched a Pontiac Fiero into low Earth orbit.
Low gravity racing.
I want this series to die.
Would Nitrous still work on the moon?
What?
Would Nitrous still work on the moon?
No, because it requires oxygen.
Guys! I've got the plot of Fast X. Okay.
If you say dinosaurs, I swear to God.
No, that's Fast 11. So
we've done this joke.
I mean, if they're gonna do space, time travel is no.
Getcha. Okay, a group of aliens come from a distant galaxy.
You lost me.
They're speed demons. Okay, and their spaceships look surprisingly like a GT Charger. So Dom and the crew are recruited from the United States government to represent all of Earth and the international space race to basically they challenged Earth to a race from the moon to Mars, and the loser, if Earth loses, then they invade. And Dom goes, "It's all about the family and the future." And then he goes and races on using a futuristic GT Mustang or something.
Wait.
You know
what Universal
I can
also
see that.
distributed?
I hate that so much, but I can see
what?
that.
Picture this, right? If we're going with the time travel angle. Picture this. Fast to the Future.
No, that is not allowed.
No.
Don't you dare!
Don't
you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Dom gets a DeLorean, and he's gonna go back into time to steal artifacts to make money, so he can, for the family. And
no, there will not be a Fast and Furious with the legendary drug car.
No. He's gonna go back in time and chariot race. We're going to chariot racing, y'all. They're gonna reenact Ben-Hur, but it's Dom. It's Dom.
So Fast and Ben-Hurious.
I did it for my family. I am not the emperor. I did it for my family.
This is terrible. This is all terrible, and I'm so glad.
It's like we do Spartacus again. There's like, I am Spartacus, or I am Sparkticus.
Oh, that's awful.
I hate
Fast
this.
and the Sparturious?
No. Okay, so we go back to the Trojan War, and instead of the Trojan horse, it's just a GT Mustang with a horse on top of it that they ram into the complex.
No, so if that happened, what would happen at that point is that Stellantis, which is the company that owns, amongst other brands, Jeep and Ram, would just throw all the money at that and it's a battering ram. It's gonna be the Trojan horse, but with Jeep and Ram branding.
Oh my god, no! They go back in time to the Viking era and they use a battering ram, and it's literally a Dodge Ram.
Oh no!
Take over.
Where in time is Dominic Toretto?
The annoying thing is that these are all things I can see Universal trying
Fast
to do.
11, where in the world is Dom Toretto?
Where in the world is Dominic Toretto?
Make a deal with Paramount. Have him race Sonic.
Oh.
Wow, that's... I'm surprised. I could see that. I'm surprised that hasn't been thought of
Sonic
faster.
Team...
I'm sure someone's thought of it. It's just a question of
guys,
money.
it's the Sonic Team Racing movie starring Dominic Toretto. Why do you keep saying
it's
that?
Sonic and All-Stars Racing starring Dominic Toretto and Danica Patrick. You know what? I think we've tortured Greg enough with this idea.
Let's move on. I'm sorry. I was having too much fun with the idea.
Let's move on to something that's going to torture us instead.
Oh, God.
We got an update on the Dungeons & Dragons movie, which is apparently still happening. It is going to come out March 3rd, 2023, and it has been titled Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
I saw. Yeah, that's, I'm kind of curious about this one. Ironically, going back to Chris Pines, I think he's starring in this.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Dungeons and Dragons movie a few
There
years
was one.
ago?
We don't talk about
There
it.
was one that came out in
okay.
2000 that's absolutely god-awful.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one in the... was that a World of Warcraft?
That was a Warcraft
There
movie.
was a Warcraft movie.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I don't know.
I think there was another Dungeons and Dragons movie, though, in, like, the mid-2000s?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I think with D&D becoming more of less of like a, basement nerd thing and more of like a nerd thing, but it's still a nerd thing, but it's more accepted culturally.
It's not a you have to hide that you do it to not get beaten up.
Yeah.
Critical Role made it cool.
Or hide that you do it so that your parents don't think you worship demons.
Yeah. It's a lot less.
Thank God that's.
It's
over.
a lot more. It's a lot more like mainstream. So hopefully, and I think some of the writers even, because the article that I read, I think that they like kind of know their shit with the lore. So. I mean, I'm not one, D&D is not like a thing where I know every single piece of lore ever written for it. If they just make if they make a fun adventure movie, set in the world of Faerun, I'll be happy. That's all I care about.
Honestly, I kind of hope if you're gonna make a Dungeons and Dragons movie, make it a thing where it's actually people playing the game, and don't have them get sucked in like in the TV show.
I like our idea better.
Anything.
Yeah.
But no, have it be one of those things where it's still got you still got the movie stars and all the epic action scenes and stuff. It just also repeatedly cuts back to just a bunch of people just sitting around.
So,
see, I would be for that, but I'd be curious about how they do the casting for everyone. Would it be like the movie stars are playing, but they insert themselves, or
I have no clue.
Because, I don't know. I feel like that's the thing that sets Dungeons and Dragons: the fact that it's a role playing game with actual pen and paper instead of a video game, apart from any other insert generic fantasy movie here.
Can I make a point real quick?
Yeah.
So, the way that it looks like it's going to be written, just a little bit more insight. I've been following this movie a little bit closely, because obviously I play D&D. I've been playing D&D for, 11 years, and I like to see a good movie come out of it. Just so you guys know, I don't know if you know the cast, Cody, but I'll go ahead and let Greg know about it. So, Chris Pine is starring in it. I'm assuming he's going to be the lead. Michelle Rodriguez is also in it.
Okay, that tracks. Yeah, that tracks.
Probably the token thief, I would assume, just based on how they're going to write her character.
Yeah,
well, that sounds...
I mean, well, I also want to make clear, I'm not being, sarcastic or anything. Michelle Rodriguez is actually kind of a huge fucking nerd.
And she's, known for playing strong women, so, I know what kind of character they're writing for her. She's kind of typecast in that.
Right.
Somebody who I don't know, who I guess did something in Netflix, called Bridgerton. His name is Reggae Jean Page. Some kid named Justice Smith, who I think he was in Jurassic World. Sophia Lillis.
Oh, was it? I think Justice Smith was Detective Pikachu.
Yes, he was. He was.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Sophia Lillis, who is Beverly from the It remakes. And the most interesting one is Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant?
Yeah!
Why?
He's gotta be the dungeon master.
I would assume he's either the dungeon master or the wizard.
Or he's a dragon.
Or he's the dragon, yeah.
Which one do you think would be the antagonist?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, so it's like he's either the DM or the antagonist.
Or both.
Or
Those
both.
two things are not mutually exclusive.
Also, some other important information to while we're talking about the D&D movie, the story is written by Chris McKay, who is a comedy writer. He did a lot of Robot Chicken and Moral Oral writing. He also did the Lego Batman movie. And what I think this movie, he also, I think he was attached to Game Night, I want to say. That one movie.
Game Night was good. I had a good time with that.
Actually, oh, no.
I think I had a good time with that.
Okay, so I think he's a kind of a new writer. He's writing the story for this one. He's not directing it. But he's probably going to add some sort of humor to it. It's directed by Jonathan Goldstein, who did, he got co-writer credits for Homecoming. He's done a couple, he does a lot of comedy work. So I'm assuming they're going to give it a comedic kind of twist to it. Yeah, he was the director for Game Night. So this is I'm assuming it's going to have a Game Night feel to it. Maybe maybe it's like an isekai, like they're like, you know, a group of people playing D&D, and they get like, you know, trapped in the book, and they have to find a way out, and hijinks ensues.
So Jumanji, but with a lot more stuff.
Yes.
Like, literally, because it's like, it's not just in the game. We have to have papers and pens and rolls and shit. I mean, I would hope it would go to Kami Angle, just because D&D as a game, I don't know if people, like, try to take it super seriously all the time, but by the very nature of it, I feel like it's impossible to. Like, the game is, like, made for shenanigans.
It is.
Yeah.
So I would be shocked if they tried to make a serious, like, D&D movie. I don't think that would work.
I mean, based on who they have, like, writing and directing the movie, they're comedy duos, so it's gonna be kind of a comedy-based movie, I feel.
Okay.
I feel like Game Night's a good base for it. I kind of feel like that's the way they're gonna go, because Game Night did really well, and it kind of had, you know, it has an in from there. I think that I can see them doing it with that. That being said, you know, that's all I really have that I know about the movie coming out.
Okay. All right, sounds interesting. Sounds like it's got a good, I guess, base. I don't know. You're more into it than I am, but I definitely am interested in seeing how it turns out.
Give me a trailer.
Yeah, let's see a trailer.
Yeah, same.
Okay, move on, because we talked about that movie way too long.
Hey, between D&D and me being tortured with Fast and Furious,
we're off to a great start.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Doctor Strange 1978 is now available on Blu-ray, thanks to Shout Factory. And I pre-ordered it, and it already came in.
Why?
Because I am now in the stage where I am updating most of the DVDs in my comic book movie collection to Blu-rays.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched Doctor Strange 78.
You know the funny thing? I've had it on DVD for the longest time, and I haven't watched it either. So that's why on the next rotation after this upcoming one for movie night, I'm adding it.
Ooh, okay. I would be interested to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to be anywhere from, like, similar to 1990s Captain America, where he steals 2 Volkswagen vehicles from people? Which I think is something that I don't know if the writers did it on purpose or whatever, but that was just something to me where it's just like, Captain America has stolen 2 different German cars. I don't know how I feel about that. That's laying on a little thick, I think.
I think the best part is watching Captain America the Winter Soldier, hearing Natasha ask, when did Captain America learn how to steal a car? And just imagining Chris Evans flashing back to this 1990 Captain America movie.
I didn't even think about that.
And it's just him faking being sick, running up and punching somebody and then stealing their fucking car.
That's a Roger Corman run, right?
What?
Is that Roger Corman?
I don't remember.
And do you want me to look it up real quick?
Please do.
Matt Salinger was Captain America.
Yeah, I know Roger Corman directed the 1994 Fantastic Four that never saw the light of day, unless you managed to get your hands on a bootleg copy, which I may or may not have.
Hey, what can you do?
I say nothing.
Quick apropos before we move on. Apparently in the Philippines, the Captain America movie was known as Blood Match.
Blood Match!
Huh.
I don't know. I just saw that. I was like, why?
I'm just gonna move to the next Doctor Strange news, which is that it is apparently being banned in Saudi Arabia because Disney will not cut 12 seconds of footage about America Chavez talking about her 2 moms.
Wow.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, there's no punchline with that, I think.
No punchline at all.
Disney just does, you know, I don't know. I have some feelings about Disney doing their, you know, what they're trying to do by throwing things in there. You know,
I mean, that's the character literally has 2 moms.
It is the character, but you know, I applaud them for sticking with their guns, but I mean,
they're still an evil, faceless corporation bent on global domination through capitalism, but at least they're not kowtowing to this particular brand of yuckiness, so it's very much just like, congrats on not being the worst human beings you could possibly be.
Yeah, like, congrats on not being total shitheads?
Artistic integrity, I suppose?
Yeah. Haha, look at me, I'm the mascot of an evil corporation. Boy, that joke aged
Simpsons
well.
Movie joke aged beautifully. And terribly.
And terribly.
So that's the end of that punchline, I suppose.
Yeah, as I say, I don't think there's lots to really dive
Up
into
next,
there.
vampire movies are now having a hard time getting off the ground because Karen Kusama's Mina Harker movie has been canceled, and Robert Eggers has expressed that his Nosferatu remake is not happening at the moment, following
that's kinda sad.
the exiting of Harry Styles as the lead actor.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the first I heard of there being a Mina Harker movie, and I'm actually a little bit disappointed by that.
Well, I've got good news. There are still a couple of Dracula-adjacent movies that are still happening.
Renfield!
Renfield is still on, with Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to watch that movie. That's gonna be amazing.
Hell yeah.
I want to suck your blood!
Why won't you let me suck your blood?
I bid you welcome.
Hell yeah.
And technically there haven't been any updates on it, but we also haven't heard any cancellation regarding Chloe Zhao's Dracula movie, which was described to be a futuristic sci-fi western.
What?
Now...
What?
Now, I don't know how I feel about that, but I did very much like Nomadland, so I'm willing to give this a shot because this sounds absolutely fucking bonkers.
Notice how you didn't see Eternals.
I just didn't want to open that gate. I think Eternals was fine. It just needed another pass in the editing room is all.
No, I think Nomadland was a better movie. I think that she's more...
Yeah,
her
no,
creative
definitely.
talents are better towards those kind of movies.
Yeah, if you want to put best foot forward on Chloe Zhao, you do not suggest Eternals. Not because Eternals is a bad movie, but because it's just not her best work.
I think Nomadland is still, in my opinion, a good way to judge her.
100%.
It's a really good movie, and it's really well shot, really well edited, good lines. It was it deserved the Oscar that it won. It really did.
Yep.
Okay.
Little bit of minor news. Darkhawk was almost in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, according to James Gunn.
Oh boy, Darkhawk, that's a pull. From the...
Yeah, it
what
is.
That, the 70s,
and yet,
80s?
90s actually,
really?
1991.
Okay.
And yet I still know vaguely who he is, unlike a certain character who will be coming up later. Darkhawk is a weird character who switches places with a alien robot body.
It's a very 90s concept.
But
okay,
now
yeah,
he
that's
doesn't
fair.
switch places, he can transform into it, only now there's a new one, I think, and the original is either dead or comatose or something. Because comics.
I was gonna say, okay, that sounds like a comic book type angle.
Yeah, it was just a neat little thing, and maybe he's the one showing up in the holiday special. Or maybe it's Cosmo, because apparently one of the wrap gifts that James Gunn was showing off for production wrapping on that was a bunch of ornaments, one of which had what looks to be Cosmo on it. So maybe we're getting Cosmo's official introduction. Who knows?
Where's Wanda?
I don't think that counts as a debut because shut up. I don't think that counts as a debut because he was technically in the first Guardians movie, but who knows?
Who's Cosmo?
Cosmo the space dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sent up into space, hit with radiation, became intelligent and psychic, and telepathed with a Russian accent. Has a mutual enmity with Rocket Raccoon because, according to Rocket, talking animals give him the heebie-jeebies.
I'm assuming product of the Cold War.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay,
does it sound like it's a product of the Cold War?
it did. I just wanted to make sure. That,
I think I don't even know when Cosmo first showed up in the comics.
Whatever. Regardless, it's interesting.
It doesn't really matter, I suppose.
So, is it time for the Sonyverse news?
You know what? First, I want to cover the box office for this week.
What's going on?
And I'm sticking with domestic because that's easier to find and easier to write down. Happy to report, Fantastic Beasts has already been dethroned from the number 1 spot.
Oh boy.
It's only been 2 weeks?
1 week.
Oh, Jesus.
It dropped to $14 million this weekend. Not only did the bad guys beat it at $24 million, but Sonic 2 managed to eke out ahead of it at $15 million.
Huh.
I mean, it's not so fantastic anymore, huh?
Nope.
I don't think the PR with Ezra Miller is helping the movie.
Yeah, probably not. And the
Probably
publicity with J.K. Rowling probably isn't helping.
Oh, what happened? What happened with
Yes.
J.K. Rowling recently?
Have you? I don't think recently matters.
Oh.
I think it's just the last couple of
Yeah,
years.
I know about the last couple
it's
of
like
years.
What happened
yeah.
with?
Yeah,
It's
no.
like what happened with J.K. Rowling. How much time do you have?
Exactly. It's like, where do you want me to start? I guess we could start with wizards shitting themselves.
That is the most absurd thing that I think she's ever said.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, I guess if you talk strictly Harry
Absurd.
Potter lore.
Yeah, in the realm of Harry Potter, that is by far. I think that's the winner.
And I feel like that's the thing that got the snowball rolling on all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, the bad guy. I actually just saw The Bad Guys last night, and it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, okay, awesome.
I feel like if I didn't have a massive headache, I probably would have liked it a lot more. But oh well.
To be honest, I didn't even know that was a movie that was out until you mentioned it.
It's really good.
Nice.
It looks really good. I want to go see it.
It's decently
Okay.
stylish. The animation's very good. The actors are all on point. Rounding out the top 5 domestically for this weekend, The Northman made $12 million, which unfortunately isn't that great against its budget. And Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent made $7 million, which also isn't that great against its budget, apparently.
Oh,
So-
what was its budget?
That's an excellent question that I probably should have had an exact number for.
It's easy to find though.
Oh, absolutely. It has to be.
You'd be surprised. Studios aren't reporting on it as much.
Oh,
30 million, so
okay.
it would need to stay pretty consistent in its box office take, which, who knows?
Yeah, since it is somehow a movie of Nick Cage making fun of Nick Cage is a niche film, but it's a niche film, so that probably won't happen.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later, I suppose. So, CinemaCon is happening,
Oh.
and with that comes a bunch of announcements, of which I'm not going to list all of them because, but I am going to focus on the stuff that is relevant to my interest personally. Let's start with the one bit of good news Sony has given us, which is that a sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife is confirmed.
I never saw that. I need a.
It
I
was
don't
quite
think there
good.
needs to be a sequel.
I'm tired of movies getting, infinite sequels.
I mean, it's so on the one hand, Afterlife was absolutely amazing. Such a good movie, and especially the new cast for that movie, all like the kids, like killed it. Like they were so much fun to watch. But that movie does not need a sequel.
It doesn't need one, but I also don't think it. I also don't think it does. I also don't think one can't happen.
I mean, granted, I know they kind of set up some sequel bait at the end, but it was still kind of thinking like this. I don't know. I did like the movie a lot, so I am definitely willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I just hope this isn't one of those things where it's like, okay, this movie did way better than we expected. Let's just throw money at a sequel to keep on rolling on that. I hope it's not one of
to an
those
extent,
deals.
I'm sure it is.
It
but
is, because that's how society works with gaming, but with
That's how
movies.
franchise budgets work.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Regardless, good for Ghostbusters fans, I guess.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Afterlife, do
I will
like
watch it.
yeah, even if you're not a big Ghostbusters person, which I am not.
Same.
It was great. It was great. And it's honestly pretty easy to follow if you have no idea what's going on. So,
yeah.
Great movie.
So, now for the other thing that I'm really sick of talking about to an extent and kind of wish that we could take a break from it for one goddamn week. Sony Marvel news.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'm going to start off with some things that were announced before CinemaCon. Across the Spider-Verse has been pushed back to June 2nd, 2023, instead of coming out in October like it was originally going to do. Funny enough, when I saw The Bad Guys last night, there was a trailer for it in front of it that still had the October 7th release date, and I just snapped my fingers and went, haha, I doubt it. We also have a release date for Madam Web, which is going to be July 7th, 2023. Since it's just a month after Across the Spider-Verse, I would not be surprised if it ends up moving.
I don't care anymore about Madam Web or any of this other crap. I don't know.
Oh, well then you're not gonna like the rest of my news.
Oh boy.
So, instead of Across the Spider-Verse Part 2, they have confirmed that the sequel is going to be called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, and it will be coming out March 29th, 2024. They have also confirmed that Venom 3 is officially in development. And, scraping the literal bottom of the comic book barrel, we are getting an El Muerto movie releasing January 12th, 2024.
Literally,
yeah, I'd like to
who?
point out, the last time Marvel or DC announced a character project that I wasn't familiar with at all was Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was before I went down the rabbit hole of being super into comics and superhero lore. So after that, I got really into it, which led to stuff like knowing about Combo Man or Bessie the Hell Cow. I had no idea who El Muerto is. I had to Google it, and as far as I can tell, he's only been in a few comic issues. Not runs, issues.
Wait, what is his
So
name?
he's literally
El
a side
Muerto.
character. So they're gonna pull a
Oh,
cyborg.
worse. No,
This is worse?
Cyborg has actual years
Oh,
of
no!
comic appearances behind him.
Even worse, the fucking actor they got is Bad
Oh, are
Bunny.
you familiar?
What the
I was
hell?
not familiar. Do you want to take
Who's
this one?
Bad
Because I have no
Bunny?
idea.
Isn't Bad Bunny a hip-hop artist?
Oh, his name is actually Bad Bunny? What?
Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
Well, his name's Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, but he's known by his Bad Bunny.
I mean, still.
Yes. Oh, God.
Uh,
yeah, he's a rapper. I thought I recognized his name. Yeah, he's a freaking rapper.
Okay, I have to look this up because this is the first time I've heard of this fool. Who is he? Let's see. He has done associative acts with nobody I've ever heard of. Granted, it looks like he does a lot of like Latin. He does
He's big
Latin
in Latin
trap
America,
and
I've been
reggaeton.
told.
So
Or rather, I've read.
yeah, so me being into like being more into old school hip hop. Those are understandably two genres I don't really dive into.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've never heard it. I thought you were making a joke.
This is the most obscure character you can. The Marvel website has 3 paragraphs maybe on him. That's
Wait, the
Really?
Marvel website or the Marvel Wiki?
Mm.
the
Oh
Marvel
my God.
website.
He hasn't entered the Marvel website? I didn't realize.
He does. He does. He does. It's so like it's literally 2.5 paragraphs. That's
So,
Well, now I'm checking the Marvel wiki.
oh
just
my
to
God,
see
you're
what
right.
he
He does
has
have an
in
entry.
it.
Do we think we're gonna see a resurgence in the comics to line up with the runaway success, the inevitable runaway success of this movie?
So
Who the hell who thought this was a good
Sony!
idea?
So, on the Marvel Wiki, there are apparently 2 different El Muertos, and if we're being generous, of all the text between the 2 of them, he has like 6, maybe 7
You know, the really funny
paragraphs worth
thing
of shit.
is, when I
Uh,
was Googling who this guy was, this character, there are 2 comics characters named El Muerto with a Wikipedia article, and neither of them are the Marvel one. One is a DC Comics character, the other is an independent comics character. Yeah,
oh, nice.
I can't believe they
This should
jumped.
be fun.
They have already jumped straight to Z-list. I cannot believe it.
I mean, like we
So,
can
as of this-
have like an absorbing man. Like,
Sony doesn't have
movie.
Absorbing
We
Man.
could have like
No, he
They
was an
don't?
agent.
who does Sony have?
Basically, anybody who first showed up in a Spider-Man comic. You could do a
Molten
Prowler
Man.
movie.
Wait for. I can
You
see
could
Prowler.
do Silver
Oh, yeah.
Sable,
Yeah, that
Black
could work.
Cat. Any
Hammerhead?
of the various Spider-Man spin-off people
Man-
like
Man
Anya
Wolf?
Corazon, any of the Spider-Women, Mayday Parker as Spider-Girl, Spider-Man 2099. Why the
Yeah, why
hell
don't you do
are we not
2099?
getting a Spider-Man 2099 movie? Except, I mean, I guess he's in Across the Spider-Verse, but why are we getting that and not an actual 2099 movie where he crosses over with other live-action Spider characters, but we're getting goddamn El Muerto? What is this?
So I have to say, I would imagine that DC would have to mount some kind of response at some point. Booster Gold
I
movie
want it.
when? If we're just going for kind of like bottom of the rung characters.
You shut
that
your whore
nobody's
mouth.
really
Booster
heard of.
Gold is a champion.
I'm honestly, I can't even believe that they're jumping
That you
this
would
far down
dare
the rabbit.
compare
Like, this is-
Booster Gold to El Muerto makes me question the quality of our friendship. What is wrong with you? You know, Booster Gold's had actual headlining comic appearances, right?
I know, I'm being an asshole.
It's working. Well done.
All right.
Are we done dogpiling on Sony now?
I don't know. Are we?
I'm never done dogpiling on them. I love Sony like classic. Like
I would love to take a
old
week
Sony,
off from
but new
dogpiling on
Sony-
Sony, but they make it so easy.
I say if we talk about if it's in the general realm of video game stuff, I can lightly dogpile on Sony, but movies is definitely more so your thing.
No, like I'm a big nostalgia both for movies and for like video games for Sony, but modern Sony in general is just a mess.
Yeah, they
They're a Oh boy,
Yeah.
okay, let's move on.
Something else I have
What's the next bit?
very little faith in. The Super Mario Bros. Movie has been delayed to April 7th, 2023.
Yep.
I need the terribleness that is Chris
It's a
Pratt
me,
being
Mario.
now. I really just want to know what that sounds like because I have no faith in this movie being good.
I really just want to see Charlie Day's Luigi.
We gotta rescue the princess, Mario! I'm glad I can do the Charlie Day impression now.
I can't wait for that. That I don't know. I want to see the shitstorm that is the Mario movie. Chris Pratt is apparently getting fallout because he's not Italian. He's cast as Mario.
They're like, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah,
Of all the reasons to be upset.
Apparently,
That's where people draw the line.
apparently, everybody like hates Chris Pratt, not just because he's in every movie, but apparently, like, I read an article that apparently, like, he's the worst Chris in Hollywood, which I don't know. He seems like a good enough guy. I don't know.
It's not necessarily
Yeah.
a low bar when his competition are Evans, Hemsworth, and Pine. They all seem like cool people.
Chris Pine is kind of creepy.
Is he?
With his, he texted that one girl about wanting to eat her and like went into huge like
That's
it was
weird.
like really it was a sexual thing about like him explaining how he wanted to eat her.
So,
and it was really weird.
Chris Pine into
Oh my.
that.
It's weird.
I have to Google this real quick. Pardon me.
I mean,
I'm gonna need some certification on that one, counselor.
I remember it was like it was a thing that happened. Like it's just very weird. I don't know. It was either Chris Pine. I think it was Chris Pine. Chris Pine is Call Me by Your Name, right?
I haven't seen that movie.
It's a good movie.
Let's see. Call Me by Your Name. That was.
Oh, never mind. Army Hammer. My fault.
Okay, yeah, Arnie Hammer's an asshole.
Oh, was Army Hammer the one who said,
yes,
"I want to eat a girl"? Okay.
You know, he has all of this cannibalist like stuff. He talks about how he wants to eat women. He wanted to eat her. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going to get into it. It's just very, very,
I'm not going to
very,
get into it any more than we already have.
It's very, 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 very creepy. Apologies, Chris
right.
Chris Pines. You sound like a pretty cool guy. You.
Chris Pines is like listening to our podcast and does the Chris Evans
What the shit?
moment in Free Guy. It's just like, what the shit?
Oh man. Moving away from the Hollywood Chris's, my last bit of news is one that just got confirmed a little bit ago, which is that we're getting a sequel to the Batman.
Oh boy, isn't that? Am I getting a trilogy?
I don't know, we just know we're getting a second movie. Matt Reeves is back to direct, Robert Pattinson's back as Bruce Wayne. Heck yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so before I give full judgment, I want to make sure they did initially say it's like we were not planning on a sequel. This is kind of a one and done
No,
thing,
they never
right?
said that.
Okay, never mind. Fair. That's fair because the movie did still do well. Again, I don't really feel like it needs a sequel.
It was going to get a sequel. They were trying to push Pattinson as the new trilogy.
That's fair. I mean, I could spend all day just looking at the Muscle Car Bat movie, but I don't think there needs to be a sequel to that movie, personally.
There's gonna probably be a couple.
There definitely needs. I think there needs to be a more fantastical Gotham, and really, this is probably the Batman setting that's best adapted to having a Robin in it. So if we can get a cinematic Robin that doesn't suck, I'll be very happy.
Now, which Robin? Like, who are you wanting? You want Tim? You want
okay? So
Damian?
My comic purist.
I don't think Damian could work.
Oh no, absolutely not Damian. My comic purist says Dick Grayson, but this is explicitly an alternate universe take says Tim Drake, maybe Stephanie Brown, if you really wanna, because Dick Grayson. The problem is with how this movie series is set up. I doubt you're gonna have time to do all the Robins. So, honestly, in a Batman adaptation in a film series, unless you're releasing a Batman movie every 2 years, you're never gonna have time to do all the Robins. So I feel like if you were gonna do Dick Grayson, you're better off having him already being Nightwing. But since that can't happen here, Tim Drake, maybe Stephanie Brown. The problem with Stephanie Brown, though, I guess, is her dad is the Clue Master, who is a Riddler knockoff, and you can't spend a whole movie doing a Riddler knockoff when you just did the Riddler.
I mean, I think we know who they're gonna have be the antagonist, and I really hate it.
She's Bluebird, right?
What?
Is she Blue Jay, or whatever the hell?
Spoiler.
What's her code name?
Harper Row is Bluebird.
Oh, her
name is
character's
Spoiler.
name.
Yeah, her name is Spoiler, because she was trying
I thought you were shouting Spoiler.
No. No, her name is the Spoiler, because she was trying to foil her dad's crimes.
That's cute.
And then she became Robin, but it was a big publicity stunt out of universe, and the editorial's kind of up in the air on whether she counts as a Robin, but I'm pretty sure she counts. I think she was in the Robin's book, so...
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on, any other news?
That's all I got. What you got for gaming?
Just some releases. Nothing super major this week.
Hit me with it.
So, our big releases, I would guess, are Zombie Army 4 is coming out for the Switch, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird, but okay. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which is, I think, a new Stanley Parable entirely. Or it's a remaster that has more content. Stanley Parable obviously is like, one of those fun adventure games that was a big internet phenomenon when it came out. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt's coming out for PS5 and PC.
Wow, they're still doing the Masquerade.
Yeah. I think it's a battle royale game, so it's yeah.
Okay.
That's
Vampire Battle Royale.
To hear.
Yep. Bugsnax is officially getting coming out on Xbox and Switch after being an Epic Game Store exclusive and PS5 game. So
Popsicle.
It's not. Yeah, I think it was a timed exclusive, so we're finally getting it out on everything else now. It's a very cute game, very laid back. It got really, really good reviews. I kind of watched my friend, our mutual friend, play it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen snippets here and there of him playing it.
It's very cute.
Yeah,
it's a cute little game. I think I might pick it up actually.
Neat.
We have Rogue Legacy 2 is getting official release finally, so it's finally out of early access. Rogue Legacy was a big, roguelike indie game from a couple of years ago. The sequel is finally coming out, which means I'll finally play it, because when I played it when it was in early access, like a year and a half ago, it was very rough. So, now I'm going to give it another shot now that it's officially coming out. So, congratulations, Cellar Door Games, for getting that, for the launch of that game. Rogue Legacy is a great game. If anybody hasn't played it, check it out. A new Sherlock Holmes game is coming out for PS4.
Oh boy.
There's like 5 million of them, so
Okay.
There really is. There's so many Sherlock Holmes games. And then arguably the biggest release on this this week is Nintendo Switch Sports coming out on the 29th.
Switch Sports!
Switch Sports!
It should just be... I'm sorry if I'm being pedantic. I really hate that's called Nintendo Switch Sports. It should just be called Switch Sports. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, in my opinion.
You can call it Switch Sports. I guarantee you most people are going to call it Switch Sports. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, that's what they came up with. Okay. I am very curious to see how it is, though.
It's fun. I played the beta.
I think it's one of those things where, technically speaking, they have to slap Nintendo on there because Switch is broad enough that it could mean, theoretically, something else. Whereas... you don't have to slap Nintendo Wii because what else is Wii Sports gonna be?
Fair.
I don't know. I guarantee you most people are gonna call it Switch Sports anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the only thing that I know is that they did an open beta that I was, I was able to play a little bit of. It was really fun. I think the only game that they took out, unfortunately, bowling is the casualty.
Oh.
And they were gonna replace bowling with something else, but a lot of the other.
Wait, that was real? I thought that was a joke.
Is it? Is it a joke?
What, that they took out bowling?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one tweet that I saw was a joke.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I have a hard time seeing Switch bowling working well on the Switch. But you never know.
What the hell am I? Don't Google this.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't Google
I googled Switch Sports taking out bowling.
I think I just saw.
What the hell?
Nintendo walked right into porn while promoting Switch Sports. What is up with this world?
I'm not splicing this in. Oh boy. What the hell?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's very funny. Okay. I saw the article headline as you said, and it's like, oh no. That's the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the internet. I hate my life. Those are the major releases this week, so it's kind of a... I mean, I would say that the Switch game is pretty big, but everything else is kind of, nothing really new. It's nothing super exciting other than, we're getting a couple of re-releases and games that are finally getting ported over that should have been ported over years ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I'm looking at U-Bucks next, but at least it's coming. I hate the Epic Games shit. Exclusivity is just not really, good for anyone, but...
Nope.
In history this week, Bomberman for the original Famicom, 32 years old.
Oh boy.
This is a flash from the past. Fractured Butthole is 4 years old.
That's some good marketing. The fact that I giggle every time.
I still can't believe they were able to get away with that.
Because it's the fractured butthole.
Yeah.
So
this doesn't really work in an audio-only format. Just
that's part of the fun.
Two classic NES titles, Gradius and River City Ransom, were released this week on the Famicom. Back in the 80s, 86 and 89, respectively. The Game Gear both came out and was discontinued on the same week in history. No, not same week. It was launched in 1991, 31 years ago this week, and it was discontinued in 1997, 25 years ago.
The Game Gear launched in 91?
Yeah.
I had no... I mean, working at a retro video game store, I kind of go, oh, gee, I wonder why it failed. Maybe it's because if the screen's dead, you might as well use the console as a paperweight.
Maybe it's that it needs 6 batteries.
Yeah, and it only lasts
and
for like...
needs all of its...
an
Go
hour.
ahead.
Like, it's like... Ugh.
And if one of the capacitors is dead, all of the capacitors are dead. Not really, but you're better off just replacing them all anyway. It's just such a strange
I'm
console.
just saying, anything that needs more than 4 batteries is not a portable system.
Greg, do you know about the Nomad?
So, I know about the Nomad. There was one time when someone traded in a Sega Nomad, and I was just sitting there testing it because it was the first time I ever had it, and one of my coworkers was like, you've been on that for a while, and I just look at him and go, I need people to stop me from buying this. This is like actually one of the most charming things I've ever messed with.
It is very charming. It's a very cool gimmick. Basically, it allows you to play your Genesis cartridges on the go. I mean, only for like maybe 30 minutes before, the system died.
Yeah, no. I am very aware that the system is dog shit, but it's so charming.
More like you mad.
It was a clever idea. I definitely give Sega that. More important gaming history news. Smash Bros. The first Smash Bros. Is 23 years old this week.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Wow.
1999.
Take a vacation, Sakurai.
Please.
For real, dude. Or don't take a vacation and just continue being a smartass to everybody. That also.
You don't need to take a vacation from being a smartass. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience.
This week is actually a very interesting week now that I'm looking at some of the games that came out. Game & Watch was launched 42 years ago. The original Game & Watch for 1980. Yeah.
Wow.
Mario Kart Wii and Nier were both released this week.
That's a combo.
There's a big discrepancy between those two, let me tell you.
Mario Kart 8 was launched this week. The birth of designer, director, and producer Yoshiaki Koizumi happened 54 years ago, so happy birthday, Yoshizaki Koizumi. He was an editor and producer for some of the Mario games. He also did Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. Now he's an executive.
That's impressive.
So. Yeah.
I remember us talking about that at work recently, because I guess we missed Zelda Week by a week or something like that.
Oh, really?
So... yeah, so it was like, I did not know about that. There's a person I work with who is really knowledgeable, like, RPG stuff, and also has one of the most insane game collections I've ever seen in my life. So he kind of talked about it a little bit. It's like, oh, neat. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's actually very interesting here, actually. So last couple of games. These are all big ones, by the way. Grand Theft Auto 4 is 14 years old.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2008. That's a long time ago. Earthworm Jim came out for the MS-DOS in 96 this week.
What?
And the rarest game on the Sega Saturn came out 24 years ago this week. Panzer Dragoon Saga. It is an RPG in the Panzer.
Oh, the one for the Saturn?
Yes, the one that's like $700.
My God.
Hell yeah.
It is like one of the hardest to get Sega Saturn games. It is very, very sought after as a collector's item. I think that, and then there's this one anime game. It's a Japanese anime game where you play as a bunny girl, of course. It's a shmup. That game is like also up there. Like those are the two highly sought after Sega Saturn games. So I've heard it's really good. I'll just never be able to play it because they can't afford it like Kuon. So
I mean, I just want to also say that is really saying something in the realm of Sega Saturn, because Sega Saturn games for the most part are really fucking expensive.
Yeah, because the Sega Saturn was like the shortest lived of the Sega consoles. So like,
yeah, like that.
Like, let's see what it's going for right now. Oh, fuck! It went up. Oh,
yeah.
crap.
I'm actually I'm on price charting.
Yeah,
right
what
now,
is it
so
on
I
price
can look
charting?
that
Tell
up.
me what it is on price charting, because I don't.
Price charting has it. Oh, that is definitely not the correct one.
Make sure it's Panzer Dragoon Saga. So.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Panzer Dragoon Saga. The loose disc, at least according to price charting, is, as near as makes no difference, $750.
Loose disc.
They have a complete with everything listed as a little over $1,100.
Yeah.
One thing to mention real quick for people who've never heard of price charting, it is an aggregate site that takes averages. That being said, that's still a lot.
Yes, it is.
That is a lot.
It is rather pricey. It's gone up significantly since the last time I looked at it. Wow.
No, when you said it's an expensive and sought after game on the Sega Saturn, I'm like, well, that doesn't really mean anything. And I looked it up, I was like, oh, never mind.
It is like, I think it's that, and like, I think KO's Delivery. Those are like the two biggest like games on. I might be. I think it's like KO's Special Delivery. I don't actually know the name of it because I'm not super good with Sega Saturn. I just know Panzer Dragoon is a huge game for the console, and it's like there's one game that is more expensive than that, and it's Daytona USA Championship Edition Netlink version. And that
hell yeah.
The loose goes for about $1,800, and the complete is $3,300. New, it's $5,700. So
Shoot, if that ever came into my work, that might be the thing that gets me to buy a Sega Saturn.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
It's like, yes, I'm buying a Sega Saturn to get a game that is 10 times the worth of the console.
Greg, that's a terrible idea.
Oh,
That's
boy.
coming from the guy who owns Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch for the Sega CD, despite never owning and never intending to own a Sega CD.
How? This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
sorry.
heard
I
this.
have to look this up.
What have I done?
I know we have to move on, but I cannot let this slide.
One more thing since I mentioned it. Panzer Dragoon, the cheapest that you're ever going to get it is the PAL version. It's complete in box, about $600.
There's a Marky Mark game for the Sega CD.
And the game I'm thinking about is KO's Flying Squadron.
Okay. All right, today I learned.
Sorry, this has been a huge sidetrack, but you know.
Oh no, absolutely. Just because, well, it's one of those things where there's a lot of major things to like come to existence in just 1 week. Especially since with where I work, those are things that kind of get brought up on a semi-regular basis. So it's fascinating to see that like a good portion of the things I regularly deal with just, hey, this all came together in this 1 week by pretty much total coincidence. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy week for gaming history, but let's move on. That's all I have for the gaming side. Took up a good chunk of this, so I think now we're going to Cage Week, right?
Yeah, it is Nicolas Cage Week, which I think we're all a little bit better equipped to talk about than Sandra Bullock Week.
Yes. It's just a tad.
Even though, the funny thing is, looking at this man's filmography, I have barely seen anything with him in it.
Yeah,
so
I haven't seen quite a bit of his movies. I love everything he's in that I've seen so far. Like, he's a great actor, but like Miss Nicolas Cage is nothing if he isn't like he has an impressive filmography. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's one of the most fun things about him, and honestly, why the man is meme to all hell is just the absolute like massive variety of stuff he's been in. Like everything from weird shit to actually really serious stuff, to like some very quality movies and everything in between. Someone actually, because there was an AMA with him on Reddit a few weeks ago, and someone asked him, it's like, how do you feel about the fact that people meme you so much for all your movies? And he's just like, that's just a lot of people who appreciate what I do. And it's like, that's a good way of looking at it.
Way to go, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
That's a very positive way of looking at it.
Okay, so how do we even start with Nicolas Cage?
What do we want to start with?
He once played a skeleton-headed man who pissed fire.
Okay, so let's start with what is everyone's first Nicolas Cage experience? Let's start there.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Wow, okay, that's a good one.
To the surprise of absolutely nobody.
I don't actually remember.
Mine is actually National Treasure. That was, I love that movie. It's very like much a part of my my growing up. I've been a huge history fan forever. And growing up in Virginia, surrounded by history and all that, National Treasure, that film series is like very, very important to me, and my development. So, I absolutely loved it, that movie growing up, and it made me really, really kind of like want to dig into Nicolas Cage's filmography, and from there, oh boy, did I go down a rabbit hole.
Well, so like I said, I started with Gone in 60 Seconds, which I guess in the grand scheme of movies, even in the realm of car movies, it's a very, very middle-of-the-road movie overall. I will say one of the things that it did kind of give me an appreciation for when it comes to movies, and also with cars, is in the cars side of things gave me an impression for not just, because I believe the movie came out about the same time that Fast and Furious was really making waves. So it was cool that this movie kind of focused on things but riced out tuner cars, but it was also kind of neat just kind of seeing how personable like a lot of people were getting with the cars and just with everything that was going on. It's this movie, especially since the movie tries to be serious but also has a few moments of funny but still dumb stupidity. Like the opening of the movie is led with Nicolas Cage's younger brother and his partner trying to steal a car, and he goes, I need to get my tool, and his partner goes, that's not a tool, that's a brick, and he throws it into the glass pane of a Porsche dealership and steals the car. there's a moment where as they're getting ready to do the big job, which is like the main plot point of the movie, to get hyped for it, Nicolas Cage and all of his old car-stealing buddies are just vibing out to the Lowrider. And so they're all just like kind of like listening to the Lowrider song, just vibing out to it. And all the young people like in the cast are just like, what the hell are they doing? But I guess in particular with Nicolas Cage, like specifically, because I could gush about Gone in 60 Seconds endlessly, it is kind of one of those things where I don't feel like it's him being full Nicolas Cage, which is both kind of good and kind of bad. I feel like he's just kind of like, okay, I'm just typecast as this somewhat quiet, slightly badass car thief and nothing more. But granted, he also had the opportunity to make out with Angelina Jolie, so...
Yeah, good on him.
I just want to remind everybody about the movie Jiu-Jitsu that he was in, which is where he fights an ancient race of aliens in a Hong Kong action movie with Tony Jaa.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie, but you reminded me of a completely different movie.
I'm going to add this to the list I think my list is complete for my next 3 movies for movie night, let's just say
Neat.
that.
I can't remember what this movie was called. But what was the movie where Nicolas Cage is like a scientist, and the movie is basically about aliens destroying the world, and the Apple of Eden story?
Knowing?
Yes! Holy shit, that movie is not
I think that's my first Nicolas Cage exposure.
Is it really?
I think that was it.
Oh my god.
Because I never really watched, like, National Treasure or Sorcerer's Apprentice or anything that, like, would have been in my wheelhouse. I didn't watch Ghost Rider for the longest time until afterward. I think it was Knowing, come to think of it. And that movie is a train wreck.
That movie is a train wreck, and it is insane.
I think that was also one of the first times that I realized that I am bad at watching movies, because it was specifically the scene where he gets stopped on the highway because there's like an oil tanker or something, and he's looking at his GPS and he realizes that the other set of coordinates that he couldn't figure out, or other set of numbers that he couldn't figure out in addition to the date and death count, was longitude and latitude, and that he's at the site at the proper time, and he gets out of his car, and it's all set up for this oil tanker to explode, and then a fucking airplane just comes crashing down out of nowhere.
That scene was... We'll say visceral. Visceral's a nice way of putting it. I busted out laughing
at my friends who I was watching it with are just staring at me, and I'm like, it was the perfect setup for an oil tanker explosion, and then just an airplane!
Literally, the movie pulled a Dave Chappelle. Gotcha, bitch!
That movie was terrible. Thank you for reminding me that existed, and that was probably my first Nicolas Cage exposure, because, oh my god.
That movie was terrible, but it did not do good things to my psyche.
Everyone else.
The movie did kind of like piss me off a little bit when it like showed like among the death tolls and like all the other events was 9/11. So it's like, so are you telling me that aliens did 9/11? Is that the angle I'm getting from this right now?
No, it's aliens predicted 9/11. If anything.
Okay.
Speaking of which, he was in a movie called World Trade Center. Did either of y'all see the 9/11 movie that Charlie Sheen was in called 9/11?
I don't want to see a 9/11 movie in general. I don't care who's in it.
Dude, it is the most batshit insane movie I have ever seen in my life. Charlie Sheen just sits there in an elevator making jokes while 9/11 happens. It's so weird.
What the hell?
It's so weird.
Jesus. As I say, besides that, because the ones that come to mind are obviously Unbearable Weight, which we'll get into in a bit. Pig
is so good.
So good.
I haven't seen Pig yet.
We're gonna make you watch
so
Pig at some
good.
point.
It's that good.
No, I am committing to the 3 I've added already, because I would add that to my section. Pig and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, he's been Spider-Man and he's been Superman.
Oh, that's another thing that they could have done instead of doing that stupid El Muerto. They could have done Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah,
Jesus,
honestly,
right.
yeah.
And get
Because
Nicolas
he
Cage.
killed it as Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah!
He killed it as Spider-Man Noir.
Don't even animate it. Make it live action.
Mm-hmm.
Just filmed in black and white and all gritty and what have you.
That would be awesome.
Yo! I still haven't seen The Color Out of Space despite owning it on disc.
I just love Nicolas Cage, so...
Oh man, and how can we talk good recent Nicolas Cage movies and leave out Willy's Wonderland?
Willy's Wonderland was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Holy crap.
I haven't seen that one still.
It's some pretty
so
damn good acting
good.
considering he doesn't say a word.
It is one of the most fun movies you can ever watch. We watched it with one of our mutual friends, and we were all nonstop dying of laughter the whole movie.
That was something else.
It was absolutely amazing. Prisoners of the Ghostland was really good too.
That was also something else.
That was also a really crazy movie.
One movie of his I haven't seen, but I have watched a whole bunch of videos about, just because the movie and its subject matter and all that are very much things that are in my personal wheelhouse, is Lord of War.
I've heard of it.
For the clips I've seen, it's just great. The basic premise is that Nicolas Cage plays an international arms dealer. And it's basically, the movie just follows like his various, shall we say, adventures of selling arms to some really terrible human beings, while also evading Interpol and all. If I may, because I have it out on the list, so hopefully you'll watch it at some point, but if I may spoil one thing that I personally think is funny, there is a scene where they set up Nicolas Cage buying a bunch of like tanks and Russian attack helicopters and AK-47s to a different warlord. And for one of the scenes, they have all of the tanks like laid out for the cameras to like shoot them in a line. There are two interesting factoids about this, from what I understand. One was that these tanks were actually owned by a different real-life arms dealer, and he was getting ready to export them before the movie people were like, hey, can we shoot these for our movie real quick? Mm-hmm. And the other thing was that apparently the people who made the movie had to contact either the United Nations or NATO, because satellite images were picking up all of these T-72 tanks lined up, and they had to say, this is for a movie, we're not invading a country right now.
That's just nutty.
That is...
Yeah.
Also nutty is the fact that we already have 2 Nick Cage movies on the movie night list, since you added Lord of War and Jeff added Wind Talkers.
What is Wind Talkers?
Wind Talkers.
What is Wind Talkers?
I don't know, I just know Jeff added it.
Oh, if Jeff added it, it's going to be crazy.
2002 American war film, directed and co-produced by John Woo.
Starring,
hold on. Starring Nicolas Cage, Adam Beach, Peter Stormare, Noah Emmerich, Mark Ruffalo, and Christian Slater.
Oh my god.
This sounds like a good time.
I love John Woo and everything that he does, so...
And Jason Isaacs is in it.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, that is a movie.
My god.
That is a cast.
God, man, John Woo. I still haven't seen Face Off, by the way.
I haven't either. I need to.
Guess I'm adding it to the list.
Oh my god.
This discussion topic has just added like 10 movies to our respective lists.
No, I'm adding at this point, all 3 of these movies are related to Nick Cage in some way.
Oh, Jesus.
Face Off, Jiu-Jitsu, and Paddington 2.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, man. Do we need to watch Paddington 1 first?
No. I have not seen Paddington 1, and that movie still is... You don't even need to watch it.
Alright.
Paddington 2
Okay.
Paddington 2 is, I believe, one of the only movies to have an 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's
Alright, that's impressive.
It is...
That's impressive,
We'll talk about it more in a minute, but...
Yeah.
Fun fact about, Nicolas Cage while we're talking about it, he also owns a production company, Saturn Films, that did Shadows of the Vampire, which is a really good 2000 horror movie starring John Malkovich and Willem Dafoe about the making of Nosferatu. But basically it's if Nosferatu was a real movie, about a real vampire, and they used a real vampire to make his movie. It's really good.
Huh.
It's like a shot-for-shot recreation of some scenes, but Max Schreck is a vampire. He's actually a vampire instead of it just being an actor. It's very, very, very good. It's really funny, too. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you like Willem Dafoe, he plays his ass off in that one. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to add.
Alright. Should we get into the actual review?
Probably.
Sure.
Alright. Short answer. Go see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's very entertaining.
Yes. It's very fun. It's a good time.
Okay, so back to the Paddington 2 thing.
Should...
Is this the spoiler part? Well,
Does this count as a spoiler?
It's not. It's barely a spoiler.
Yeah, I guess. So, this honestly, it's one of my favorite bits about the movie is him talking with Pedro Pascal's character and asking what his top 3 favorite movies are, and his answers are Face Off, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and Paddington 2, and Nicolas Cage is just flabbergasted by the disconnect there. It's like, hey, walk me through this one.
And then they watch it, and he's like, it's really a
It's a masterpiece.
It is! No,
he sits down, watches it, he's crying by the end.
Okay, I need to talk about this movie for a second, okay? That joke hit me so hard because it's so true. Okay, me and my friend, we're bored one day, and we went to the theater, and we just were gonna watch whatever we saw that, hey, like, let's just watch something today. Okay. We ended up watching, picking Paddington 2. And we're like, oh, this is gonna be a shitty kids movie we can make fun of. No one's here. It's a Wednesday. It's like a Wednesday at 2 in the afternoon. Let's just go watch this movie. We were ready to make fun of it. We're like, oh, neither of us have seen the first movie. I'm not even kidding you. I cried 3 or 4 times, and both of us were like absolutely flabbergasted. And I'm still, to this day, that is the best kids movie I have ever seen. It is an actually amazing masterpiece. It should be in my top 10. It's well directed. It has great humor. Tim Curry is a villain in that movie.
Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sold.
It had me at Tim Curry.
Not only is Tim Curry a villain, he's a villain that's a washed up actor, a theater actor. So he has all these wacky costumes that he puts on to perform. It's so good. It is so good. Paddington 2 is legitimately a masterpiece, and that joke just made me think about it. And even though I know it was played for laughs, it truly is a masterpiece. Okay, now the movie. Sorry, the actual movie, Unbearable Weight.
The movie.
I absolutely love. Obviously Nick Cage. This is a love letter to Nick Cage. Nick Cage obviously knocked it out of the park. But I was really, 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 really... I loved Pedro Pascal's performance in the movie. I thought he was
Pedro
excellent.
Pascal was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, to me, he
100%.
sold the whole movie. Their friendship, everything. The acid scene is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. Oh, God. Cody, what did you think?
It's funny because I thought the movie was okay. Really? I had a lot of fun watching it. I don't know. It feels a little too neatly wrapped up for me when all's said and done. I don't know. It's just, it kind of loses me near the end. And this is probably a me thing, but I have a genuinely hard time telling if the genre confusion is endemic to the movie itself, like if that was just baked in from go, or if that was something that was decided on later, because there's just, obviously there's so much commentary on it. It's such a meta movie, but I'm not sure if it's I don't know, I don't know. I guess it didn't hit me as much as it did you guys, but I still liked it quite a bit.
I just enjoyed the meta humor. I enjoyed the performances, even the performances by the side characters, like the FBI agents and the Pedro Pascal's cousin, the really, over-the-top Russian guy.
You know what?
Italian guy.
I think the CIA part is what I hated the most, because it's just so... all of it is so fucking stupid.
It's very, 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 very stupid, but I don't know his name, but I really like the character actor that played the guy. He's in a lot of movies. He's in a lot of Adult Swim stuff. So I recognized his face, and I don't know. I thought he was pretty funny. It's stupid.
So the
Ike Barinholtz.
The whole Wait, what was his name?
Ike Barinholtz.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Adult Swim productions.
So my thing with it is that with the CIA bit, because that was also one of my least favorite parts of it. It was one of those things where this is not great, but I also get why this is here, especially since they do spend a good bit of the movie just kind of commentating on the movie, because it's not just them talking about the movie. It is, like you said, Cody, a commentary not just on like what goes into acting and stardom and all that, but also like movie making and stuff like that. Because they reference the movie as being like, what was it again? Like a adult drama something or other that has a hook for the general audience. The whole CIA bit was definitely the hook for the general audience.
It reeks of hook for the general audience, and it's not even especially well done. It feels...
Well, I think that was on purpose.
Yeah, but it's still like it brings up that argument of if you're doing something badly, even if you point it out, you're still doing something badly.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it's like, I can see why they're doing this, and it does make sense, and it is obviously part of the commentary, but it's still not great. It's kind of like a, oh god, what was the name of the movie that, the one, like, zombie movie in the like, country town that we were looking forward to and was immediately...
The Dead Don't Die, I hated that.
The Dead Don't Die. Yeah, it's kind of like that, how The Dead Don't Die is a general commentary on a lot of things, and it's one of those things was like, I get what you're trying to do, but it's still bad, so the message falls a little bit flat.
What? I think if I could make one minor change to this movie, I would not include the bit where it suddenly transitions, like the actors all change. Like, I would still have it be...
That was very jarring.
I didn't notice it.
I think the thing is, I would still have it be this entire thing was a movie that Nick and Javi were making based on their experiences, but I would have it be like the mom would still be played by the mom, and have it be the entire movie up to this point was the movie, specifically because that would make it easier to swallow the sheer fucking incompetence of these CIA people. But because most of the movie is not a movie within a movie, we're supposed to run with everything happened as it did up until the point when the actors switch at the very end.
Yeah.
I honestly did not even... maybe it's because I was just, like, out of it, but, like, I didn't actually notice the actors change.
They swapped the mom out for Demi Moore!
I did not notice, I'm gonna be completely honest, until the line was said, oh yeah, how'd you get Demi Moore for this? I was like, oh, I didn't even realize
They were in a completely different location at one point.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at all. I'm gonna be honest,
What the fuck?
The only thing I noticed was the daughter, because, like...
No,
the daughter was obvious.
That was So the thing is that I noticed when it transitioned into the different things, like, wait, why did the lighting change? Wait, what the fuck happened to the daughter? Wait, why are they all surrounded by Chevy Tahoes? And then it's like, what is going on? And then it goes to the movie, to, like, the actual theater, like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. That was the only part of that movie that made me go, it's like, movie that's good, but it kind of bugs me a little bit.
I feel like that's one of those things where if you hadn't done that, the rest of the movie would be stronger for it.
I guess the only other, like, kind of minor things that I had to bring up, or at least that kind of hit me as I was watching it, was there was actually one particular moment in the movie that was one of the few times where I felt like the trailer for the movie, it was funnier in the trailer than it was in the actual movie. It's the scene where they're in, like, the homage room to Nicolas Cage, and they're looking at the wax statue of Nicolas Cage with the golden guns. Yeah. In the trailer, they just go, "That's grotesque. I'll give you $20,000 for it," which is a lot funnier than just the continual talking about it and asking how much people paid for it. It's like, that's not as funny somehow.
Yeah.
And then
it was a trailer moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. The movie is just... It's a bizarre movie. It's made for... I've literally never seen a movie like this.
No, it's definitely not... It's atypical, to be sure. I think if I had one more nitpicky thing about it, and this I acknowledge is 100% a me problem, it's kind of weird to me to be seeing in this movie Nick Cage is himself, and then you've got, like, Neil Patrick Harris and Pedro Pascal in this, but they're not Neil Patrick Harris and Pedro Pascal. It's like, okay, Nick Cage is himself, and everybody else who I recognize is somebody else.
So
it's not a problem. It's just like my brain was just like, this is. So is Neil Patrick Harris his agent? No. Neil Patrick Harris is playing his agent. Okay, I can't be sure.
I'm fairly sure Neil Patrick Harris is not Nicolas Cage's agent.
Yeah.
No, but that would be something.
That would be bizarre.
That would be very bizarre.
But I did really like this. Like, I like how well Nick Cage sells being conflicted in his loyalties. I do think it's funny that it turns out, he was right, technically, about the whole situation. Just everything with him trying to interface with his family is like, this feels weirdly relatable.
Wasn't there... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying the best part of the movie for me was Pedro Pascal. I think this is one of the better roles
100%.
I've seen him in, just as like a fun character. This is a really fun character that he played, and I really, really liked his performance. He sold it. It was both relatable and fun. You know, it was a little over the top, and you know, I mean, I don't know. I felt like they were genuinely like bonding. Like the bond felt real.
Yeah,
and it sold it to me that they were friends. You know, and
you can't watch Paddington 2 together and not come out with a changed relationship. I guess.
I can agree with that. Trust me. Paddington 2 is. Oh god, that's a movie. I'm definitely adding it to the list. But
also, not only did this give me a bunch of movies to check out based on discussions had in the movie, but it's also really gratifying when you hear two people in a movie talk about a movie that, I don't want to call it obscure, but when they were talking about The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I was like, I've seen that! I've seen this movie!
You have?
I have seen this
really?
movie, yeah.
I haven't seen Cabinet of Caligari, but I want to.
There was a point when the Criterion channel had a whole thing on German Expressionism, and I started watching some of those, and one of them was Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
That is the German Expressionist film.
Yeah, no, so, I watched it. I think I liked it.
I need to watch it. It's very iconic for its angles and, you know, the set designs and, like, how you don't know if it's a dream or not a dream because of how the way the thing is shot. I don't know. I've actually personally been wanting to watch Caligari, so... maybe I'll give it a shot soon.
Yeah.
So kind of with that was kind of the one unfortunate thing for me with the movie. It's because this is not at all the movie's fault, but it's just a reminder of I need to watch a wider berth of movies. It's definitely like has a lot of like movie jokes and movie nerd jokes. I actually, when I went to see it, and it was in a relatively empty theater, there was a couple in front of me that they were having a very good time at a lot of the like movie jokes, and it was a husband and a wife, and they were both kind of like, "Oh, I get that joke. Oh, I get that joke." And it's like, I'm actually upset because I haven't watched that many movies in the grand scheme of things, so I know there's a lot of jokes here that I'm really missing, and that kind of sucks.
I gotta find time to do more Criterion watch parties.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it, Cody. I'm always, I'm available. I like watching stuff on Criterion. It's fun.
It makes me feel classy.
Yeah, I like watching obscure French films from the 70s with you.
Yeah, Peppermint Soda was a good time.
that was a good time.
Peppermint Soda was a real good time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about the movie. What about you guys?
I mean, that's all I really have to add. Like I said, I absolutely adored it. Also, the whole thing of, like, my last thing, because it caught me very off guard, Nicolas Cage making out and lightly sexually assaulting Nicolas Cage. That
I don't think that was sexual assault. I think it was consensual. It was very narcissistic, but it was consensual.
It was extremely narcissistic, if nothing else, but it was kind of a thing of, like, I just saw them like, you know what? I did not have that on my 2022 bingo card. I'm gonna be
Nicolas Cage making out with Nicolas Cage.
That was, like, nowhere. That is, like...
Can I tell you guys when I went to the restroom? Because it's kind of like a huge...
no.
I went to the restroom when the CIA stuff started, so I came back and they were just doing the mission. I was like, oh, okay.
What have I missed?
I'm like, okay, obviously I pieced it together, but like that was the exact moment I came back. He was like getting into that room to play security, like it was strange. But that was my one bathroom break where I missed like 2 minutes of important dialogue, I guess.
Oof.
Action.
Yeah.
No, that whole bit. That was kind of the one bit where we could go, okay, what the shit movie.
So
I am a little
anything else?
disappointed there were no Ghost Rider references as far as I could see.
Yeah, I initially thought that the imaginary friend Nicolas Cage was supposed to be that, but it's like, oh no, that's not at all it. Apparently, and I missed this, I actually only found this out later on Reddit, apparently they actually did credit imaginary friend Nicolas Cage with Nicolas Cage's birth name.
Huh.
Oh,
So
Nicolas
like,
Coppola.
oh, that's
cool.
Yeah, apparently the whole bit of it is that the imaginary friend is Nicolas Cage's younger self, just trying to kind of get him back into that, to like how he was then as an actor.
That's interesting, and yeah, that's actually interesting. They credited it as Nicolas Coppola. That's really cool.
He was maybe a little underutilized for what he was.
Yeah, just a tad. But yeah, I don't know. That I absolutely adored it. I am ashamed that this is considered such a niche movie, because I do feel like this is a movie that I feel like it would kind of resonate with a lot of people.
See, on the one hand, yeah, but on the other hand, it's also, not only is it, you kind of have to be a big Nicolas Cage fan in order to really appreciate the movie, but you also really have to be up for a very in-your-face meta-narrative about movies and the movie-making process and trying to decide on a movie. I'm not surprised that it's as niche as it is.
Fair.
But I do hope it manages to make some money, because, hoo boy, I had despite nitpicking some of it, I do really like it. I had a good time watching it. I can't wait to watch it again. I'll get it on disc.
I'm going on a date to watch it, so.
Oh, congrats!
Hell yeah!
Yeah, but regardless, yeah, fun movie.
I don't want to kill you. You're the last person I want to kill. I love you. I love you.
Definitely a good movie. Definitely a good time.
I will say, if they ever make a steelbook of this movie, this is a movie on the very small list of movies I want to have a steelbook for. I will definitely say that much.
Can't believe they made Fruit Loops as menacing as they did.
For real.
I'm not going to give any context. Just
that was a scene.
No context.
That was a scene and a half. No context. Just that Fruit Loops are intimidating.
Yeah.
That toucan doesn't fuck around, man.
Toucan.
You don't want to mess with Toucan Sam.
Well, okay. Anything else?
No, I think that about wraps it up, and since we're not discussing Moon Knight because it would just be me...
I'm sorry, I've had a week.
It's fine.
It's been a pretty crazy week.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to double episode Moon Knight 4 and 5
I think we
week.
Just might as well should. But
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, just make an extra long catch-up episode. It'll only be like 2 episodes. It's not bad.
Makes sense. You know what? What comes out next week?
What does come out next week? You gotta pick another movie to watch.
Yeah, we gotta figure this out.
Because the week after is Doctor Strange, so...
So I guess next week, Memory, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
If it's any... I just want to watch another crazy Liam Neeson movie. My favorite movie that he's ever done is one where he drives a snowplow around killing people.
Oh, what was that one?
What?
Cold Blood?
Cold Pursuit.
Cold Pursuit.
Oh, that's right.
The one. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm upset I never got to see that.
Okay, actually, I'm taking out Jiu-Jitsu for Cold Pursuit.
Oh, boy.
Cold Pursuit is a good time. I genuinely... It's one of the most bizarre movies I've ever seen.
How gory is it?
Is it particularly gory? Because one of the members of our collective does not do
It's not
gory.
actually that gory.
Neat.
Okay, cool.
I don't think it is. No, it's just bizarre.
Cool.
Alright, tune in next week for, I don't know, maybe Memory, I guess? We'll figure it out.
We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
We'll do it live!
Thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure to like, comment,
subscribe.
Follow on Spoofy. Whatever you want to do.
On Spotify, on Spotify. That's not some other like audio program.
It's not. It's not.
I
it's not a
probably
place where
should
you
stop
can get.
calling it spoofy on this, huh?
It's not a place where you can go get stems of Kanye West music or stems
Oh,
of
boy.
Jay-Z
Oh,
music.
sweet Jesus.
I just want to
Anyways.
take a minute. I just want to take a minute and thank everybody for listening to the podcast and give us your feedback about what we can do. If you guys want any segments, I don't know. I don't know. Just thank you for watching this far and thank you for being a part of the journey.
Yeah.
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 And
Until
just
next
think,
week, I
in 2
guess.
weeks you get to hear us geek out about a Marvel movie, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's
boy.
going to be a long podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it will.
All right.
Boy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.